I've got. Ooh. Hello. Welcome to the Weekend Eve. I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice. And with Coach 24, Darwin Penny, who is not here tonight. He is still doing a phenomenal job on the road, checking out scouting for the Royals. But behind the scene running the show is Mr. DJ Scatta. How are you doing this evening?
All right, we're doing super fantastic here this evening.
Yes, and that is George Walker, DJ Scatter. So I'm supposed to have two guys that are supposed to come onto the show for the Panthers, and they just now sent me a text saying, give me the address. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So they are killing me right now. So I have to screenshot this and then send it to them so they can have the address. And here we go. I just did that. We're going to have a veteran who is, I believe, in his first or second year with the team, and then we have a second year, I call rookie, on the team too. And I won't mention their names until they show up. So, and by the way, I got new reading glasses. So, my glasses today, for some reason, they split like right up here. So I couldn't put them on and be able to read anything. So I had to go to the store. I had to buy some more. And these look pretty cool. I think they look okay. They don't have that blue glare that my other ones had, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but it's okay. I will be fine. So anyway, so these guys are going to be here. So for the time being, just want to say that the Royals have not lost a game in the last 2 days. Now, you want to know what they did to make this happen? Well, they've had the last 2 days off, so they have not lost. Now they haven't won, but they haven't lost. And what happened there was when they were playing St. Louis wanted to play the Royals on Memorial Day. So by doing that, they made the 2-game series because there's going to be 4 games that the Cardinals and the Royals are playing. 2 games in St. Louis and 2 games in Kansas City. And so Monday and Tuesday, they had their 2-game series in St. Louis. And then the Royals won the first game 7-0, and then they turned around and lost a great game that Zach Greinke had pitched and just couldn't get no breaks or anything. Lost 2-1. I think it was late in the game, so I don't think Zach Greinke was given the loss. But a lot of people were complaining that they brought in Aroldis Chapman to pitch, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. We are 22 games under 500. It's not like it's going to make a bit of difference, if we would have won an extra game or not. So, but the Royals are 17-39, and tomorrow they start a 3-game series with the Colorado Rockies at home. So if you guys want to go out there, definitely go out there and watch them and support them. So, we've got one pulling up, and I don't know about the other one. So, Mr. DJ Scatter is going to go check that out. So for the time being, tonight, first, I want to mention this. A guy that I went to high school with, his name was Todd Meismer, has a twin sister, Tammy. she's married to Brent Ewert, and I deliver their mail. And I've been friends with Brent for a long time. I played Little League Baseball with his brother Kurt. And I went to school with Tammy and Todd and their younger sister Lisa, who was my age. Now Todd and Tammy are a year older than me. Well, Todd has a daughter. Her name's Julia, and she is, I believe, a sophomore in college at the University of Arizona. Well, this week she shot -8 for 36 holes to qualify for a one-day qualifier at the Women's Open, July 6th through 9th, and they're playing at Pebble Beach. Now, anybody that knows any golf in the Kansas City area knows that was in 1982, that was the famous chip-in by Tom Watson to defeat Jack Nicklaus and for him to win his one and only U.S. Open. Now, Tom Watson has won 5 British Opens. He's won 2 Masters and a U.S. Open. Unfortunately, the PGA Championship eluded his grasp, but still a great golfer anyway, and still would love to meet him sometime. Maybe I can get him on the show. So, but anyway, congratulations to Julia Meismer from the university. They live in Overland Park, but she does go to college in Arizona, and so congratulations and hope the best, and I hope she does awesome. I definitely will try to watch it if I can and see how she does, and I will keep finding out how she does in her progress to make it to Pebble Beach through Todd, since we are friends on Facebook. So we can do that. And so anyway, so I'm just sitting here. Oh, wow, we have one. Oh, we have 2 players. All right. So gentlemen, just have a seat. And that will be your headset, and your headset will be over there. And so right now, we are getting ready to split me up in 3s. They're put now. Are they? No, they're not putting me in the middle. They're putting me on the side. No, it's all good. No, I was just gonna say you don't put the awesome voice in the corner. So, but anyway, we've got Jamal Mitchell and we got Jay Robinson, and he goes by Jay Major. So, yep, and there they come. You can just sit right there. There we go. So, gentlemen, how are you doing tonight? Wonderful. Okay, hold on. We don't know.
Man.
Try it again.
Wonderful, wonderful.
There we go.
There we go.
Now he just blew my ears out. So I'm an old guy, but I'm not going to be able to hear for a while. And Mr. J, how are you doing, sir?
Feeling good. Just tired, but happy to be here.
Oh, absolutely. I totally get that. So, are you guys dog sitting or anything like that?
Nah.
No.
Oh, see, I work and I dog sit for my daughter's 2 dogs. So I am driving way out in Belton, closer to Cleveland, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm out there doing that. So, but it's for my daughter. Yes, I know. I love my daughter, but she will owe me big time. But anyway,
right.
So you guys are getting ready to have practice at 6:30. And last week we had the quarterback, Marquise Samuels, and we had Jimmy Ross, the head coach, on the team. Now, saying that, Jamal, is this your second season playing, or is this your first?
This is actually my 3rd season playing semi-pro. I played in Texas, though.
Oh, okay.
I played with the Prime for a little bit, and I played with a team that was down in Austin.
Now, for local fans, they won't know who the Prime is. So
Dallas Prime would be the Prime. That's like one of the top 2 teams in the state of Texas.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So how many years did you play there before you came up here?
I played up there 1, and then I played a year in Austin, and then I came up to Kansas
This year or last year?
last year.
Last year. So this is your second year with the Panthers.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
First year with the Panthers, second year in the league, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So, and Jay, now you have been playing for the Midwest Titans for a long time. Is this your first year with the Panthers?
First year.
Okay. So
You hear me? First year. Yeah.
there you go. So, how long have you played with the Titans, and was the Titans the only team that you had played for prior to the Panthers?
Yeah, the Titans been day one since I
So-
was a kid. So,
So, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing with the Titans like 13 years, 16 altogether, but I missed 3 years through injury. But,
Got right. You had a severe knee injury.
knee,
Yep.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So coming over from the Titans to the Panthers, what made you choose to play for the Panthers?
Oh man. For real, just it was easy because I've been playing them all my life, and I got connections with Coach Jimmy and all them, and we always talked about the what ifs and stuff like that, and one of the what ifs came up, and it was an easy decision. I mean, it came down to the Panthers and the Cowboys, but I was leaning more towards the Panthers, just because of what my heart was telling me.
Well, of course, the Panthers are a better team, of course. So, and so for you, Jamal, this is your second year. So, and you said you've only played 3 years, correct? Okay. So, what's your position?
Receiver, slot.
And just to let you guys know, I know what positions they play in. I am just asking questions for you guys to be informed. So, but you used to be a running back.
Yeah, my first probably like 9 years I was a running back.
Gotcha.
And then the last few years I just been receiver.
Gotcha. And Jamal?
Me, I played wide receiver, and I actually started off as a quarterback, and then I just knew the route tree better than any of the receivers on the team, and we had another backup quarterback that had a great arm where I was at, and so they were like, hey, since this guy knows the route tree, let's try him out at receiver, and then it just turned out to be like a perfect fit, and so then coming over to the Panthers was pretty easy. Once I got to talk to Coach Ross and see where his mindset was, it was an easy decision for me.
Awesome. So, coming from Texas, and if for people who don't know, Texas is obviously the football sport. I mean, high school football.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The Cowboys and Texans, even though Texans are not good right now, it's still football. And you've got semi-pro football. What is the difference between Texas football and coming up here to Missouri?
A lot, actually. I feel it's more religion there. It's not really like a sport to Texans. When you go to Texas and you talk football, it's like you're at church on Sunday. It's not anywhere near how it is here. Here, you kind of like joke around about it. Yeah, it's a big deal. You got the Chiefs, you got other teams here, like Mizzou, KU, K-State, that end up having that one star, that good player. But in Texas, it's like repetitive every day.
So is that a good thing? That's a bad thing? How do you?
It's not a bad thing. I never viewed like any other state as like, oh, they're not as good at football as a Texas person. Because one thing you learn in Texas is that your enemy, you got to know them. Like if you're going to go play another team, you got to know them. And you got to almost befriend them to get to know them. So you can't talk trash until you beat them. So
Right.
In order to beat them, you're learning them, you're knowing them. And in the process, it's almost like they're becoming your best friend until you accomplish your goal.
Ah, gotcha. So anyway, so this week you guys are playing at home, and you're playing against the Nebraska Law Dogs, and I think the Nebraska Law Dogs played in the championship game last year, because I think they put it was either them or it was another team, but All I know is that me and Skinny Ward, we freaking rocked it in the announcing booth with it. So, but anyway, so but you are playing the Law Dogs. So if they are the defending attendings, what do you see in them, and what are you looking for this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting an aggressive defense. I'm expecting them to come out, their DBs to be aggressive, the line to be aggressive. But when I look at our guys, like, I don't see nothing else. I see champions. I see a team that's together, that's willing to fight for the next man next to them. So, and I don't know, you were at our last game. We were down 20 seconds left. We come back and win a game. That lets me know who I got on my side.
Right.
So I don't try to worry too much about the other team. I do watch the film. I do see what they like to do. I do, check my areas, and I talk to my receivers and let them know, like, hey, we can beat them here, 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 and here. Mm-hmm. But we still got to learn them. We got to play. We got to put forth the effort. So I feel like my guys are ready.
Gotcha. And what do you see as a veteran? Because, he's somewhat a rookie. He's,
Yeah.
I would say he's green.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's not good or is good, because you are very good. You have some great hands.
Appreciate
but
it.
you have the experience.
Yeah.
What do you see in them?
Really, from the past, the Law Dogs was top-tier team for years. I haven't really seen anything for this year. We're just going off of what we know, preparation, down the distance, stuff like that. So we already on go. Like you said, we know how to adjust if we see something. We work together. We talk to each other. All the receivers, the receiving core, that room is tight, So we all know how to talk to each other, adjust, and stuff like that. Me being a vet, I got the outrageous respect for them just like they got for me. So, we just ready to ball.
Gotcha. Now, when is it? When is this game?
This Saturday, June 3rd,
At what time?
4:15 kickoff.
Yep, for
Because
15
you're-
University Academy.
Because you're telling these guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
University Academy.
You're saying it to me through
That
these
way.
people.
Yeah.
So 4:15. Do you know exactly where it is?
University Academy.
Do you know the
The
address?
location, I don't have it.
Okay, it's 6801 Holmes Road.
All right.
Homes.
So Holmes Road. So people know Holmes Road. Well, I know it because I grew up in Grandview, and they had Holmes Road South, but over in that area, it's kind of like Midtown. It's just a little bit east of Brookside.
Yeah.
Yep.
So guys, there you go. You need to come out and see these guys. So, and I still don't know 100% if I'm going to be there or not, because because I had a family gathering, and here's the thing with semi-pro football. Sometimes the dates adjust. It's not like the NFL. They are all set up. And even though they're trying on Thursday night to try to put people in there and everything else, which is not making Patrick Mahomes too happy. But they had switched a date, and I had already made prior plans. But I still intend on trying to be out there and announcing the game for you gentlemen. So
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So, what do you see as your biggest attribute to the team? What is your strength?
For me, I hear Coach Jimmy say it all the time that I'm just a natural born leader. I got the voice to be a leader. I got the mindset to be a leader. But I think personally, my attribute that I bring to the team is my play, like what I do. I lead by example. Like, so I'm always trying to be first in line. I'm always trying to be first up. Let me go first. I want to do it first. Let me make the mistakes. Let everybody else see me make the mistake, and then they can not make the same mistake I make.
See, then that typifies a leader, because you're getting up there, and if they see you doing it, then they're going to start following.
Exactly.
So in a way, that is a leader. That is a definition of a leader.
Yeah.
Jay, what is your biggest
Mine's,
strength?
basically the same thing. even with all the receivers, like I said, we were a tight bunch. If they run their route wrong, if I see something that they are misreading or something like that, I tell them, hey, run this route this way and watch what So just the the leadership, me being in the experience I have, from championship rings, playing tough teams, things like that. So we got down like a couple weeks ago. We was down. And me taking over, bring the whole team together, and just saying, hey, we better than this. Let's get our stuff together. And soon when that happened, we reacted the way we reacted. I mean, it was a close game, but I like those games because it help us get better.
Right.
Exactly. The one thing I think Jay doesn't give himself a lot of credit on is that even with me and like how we play, he'll come and pull us to the side and he'll say, look, if you break here or cut it off at this, you know what I'm saying, with your route, or pay attention to the DB. The DB's telling you what he's giving up for you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get a little sped up out there and we don't focus or pay attention to what's being given. And we try to take and take and take when really just take what they're giving you and you're gonna succeed. And sometimes, especially at the beginning of the games, Jay is one of those good leaders that, comes down the sideline. Hey, we got it next time. Drop, skip that first series. We got this next series. Let's go. Pay attention to what's being done. This is the experience. And that's what he shows like every day. Practice, games, even when me and him just talk on the phone, he's always telling me like, hey, man, you good here. You're great here. You got probably the best hands on the team. But look, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch this, watch that. And he breaks it down to me in a different way that none of my teammates ever, even playing back in college and stuff, none of my teammates ever just took the time to stop and try to break it down for me.
So let's go back to that last game. You guys were never in the lead at any point until it was 1 second left on the clock. Yeah. What strength, outside of the fact that it helps you build that, but watching the game, I seen a lot of frustrations. What did you get out of that game that you need to apply in order to continue your what I call a train towards travel towards the championship?
First thing I got was sideline and the communication and the chemistry, knowing, when your player is coming to you or your teammate is coming to you and telling you something, you're like, yeah, you're right. Not having that, chip on your shoulder to where like, oh, I'm so good. I know what I'm doing. I think we adjusted crazy good that game. We had communication from the quarterback all the way down, down the road. Offensive line, everybody, we took the time to, talk it out, figure it out. It was things that we were seeing, that maybe one side of the field was doing, but the other side wasn't, and it was just the communication. Especially Coach Sean. Oh, my gosh. Shout out Coach Sean. Coach Sean brings the whiteboard. We call him the whiteboard. He brings the whiteboard, and he breaks it down in different ways and just analyzes everything that we should be doing instead of, just going out there and just rushing it. And that's exactly what was going on that last game. We were just doing a lot of rushing. We weren't paying attention to what was open. And so my thing would be, I guess, adjusting. That's what I took from it.
What did you see? Something different or anything?
I mean, it was kind of different because coming from where I came from, we've been down before and, we knew how to react to it. But it was like a panic mode. And then we brought everybody together. Like I said, everything changed once we was down, 14, 12? It was down by a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, it was down 14.
And just seeing how we responded to the adversity, like, that let us know, like, we got a lot to work on, but I know we got that stride and to make a lot of noise.
Gotcha. So are you still mad at me for saying on the 2-point conversion?
I'm gonna let you slide, Brian. I'm gonna let you slide.
I didn't know what was going on.
I mean, so a little bit more about me. I've played a year in the CFL, and I've played, at a high level.
Now CFL,
that's the Canadian Football League.
Ooh, okay.
So I've played.
So who did you play for?
Winnipeg.
Ooh, the
So-
Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yes. So
I know these
yeah,
names.
so
I know.
I didn't get to play as much. I'm not a big name. I was second string and I started off third string, being realistic.
Right.
You know, I worked my way up. I got in a couple games, but being in the games and listening to the refs and just like taking it all in, right? You just find out certain different things and little knickknacks throughout the game, and that was one of the things. And I was just like, Brian, no. Like, no. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, this is a step down. It's semi-pro. You know, not every rep's going to have it right every time.
Right.
So, you know, it also made us play harder. So I'm not really mad about it. That's why I said I'm going to let you slide. Because when we didn't get that, everybody on the offense was like, next time we're punching it in, we're getting our 2-point conversion. Like, we just amped it up. It made it more heightened, I guess. Situation heightened.
And about me, if I know a rule, I will let you know. And if you argue with me, I will argue with you till the ends of the earth. And as much as I wanted to be right, I wanted to be so wrong. It was not funny. But at the same time, I was like, you know, and that was one of those things where if they would have changed it, and it may not have been right, then the other team could question, oh, well, you won because you got a raw call, or they got a raw call, you got a gimme call, or something
Right.
like. So you can at least say that. Now, I have to ask this about Canadian Football League, because Canadian Football League is a little bit different than any other type of football.
Right.
How do you deal with the 3 downs and the wider field and all that?
That's why I was third and second string. The wider field is tiring. Think about the receiver route core, right? Most of the time, like if you're a bigger target like myself, you're running a 9, you're running a comeback, you're running an in. You're not really running all the little witty routes that like quicker receivers, slot receivers can do. So having that wider field, it's like you got to be hauling butt. Like you got to be moving. And if you're not moving at all times, you're behind. And if you're a second off, your quarterback's a second off. So,
Well, and you guys can run, whereas you can go in motion
oh, yeah.
east west, you know, for like a Patrick Mahomes, but
Yeah.
for a Warren Moon type CFL quarterback, you go north south.
Exactly. And see, like those guys would be like a J. Those receivers would be like a J. Like for me, I was always set because I'm a bigger target. So like going from standstill to 100 and then having to go from 100 to maybe down to 80 but still make that cut or make that turn, and it's a wider field, you can't miss a beat. You miss a beat, it's thrown off everything that quarterback is doing. And me being a ex-quarterback, I'm like, I don't want to mess up my quarterback. So that's probably the only thing would be the width. I think that would be the CFL difference for me.
Gotcha. So this Saturday, the game is here. What do you tell these fans why they should come out and watch you guys?
It's Panther Nation. Come out. Gonna have put on a show for y'all. Guarantee
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. I say, yeah, Panther Nation, come out, come check it out, come support. It will be a show for sure. I ain't going to say too much about who, but somebody said we putting up 30 on them. So it's going to be a 30-point win.
30-point win?
30-point win.
Oh, so you're not just scoring 30 points. You're winning
we're
by 30
winning by
points.
30.
Okay, you heard this, because we're going to have you guys posted on your Facebooks and all over the place. So everybody is going to be listening and watching and all that. So I'm gonna look at this, and
Oh, yeah.
I'll be out there at practice tonight as soon as you guys or as soon as my show is over with. So so how much longer do you think that you will play?
Oh man,
Uh-oh, they got you
it
again.
got me. I've been asked that a lot, but a lot of people, and I don't talk a lot about it, but just having that surgery, you know, it's a huge thing for me to be back on the field. Like I'm thankful for it, and a lot of people don't understand why I'm so thankful. 3 surgeries in 1 year, you know, I almost lost my leg and stuff. So it's just like a huge testimony for me, and I still got the juice to play. So I'm thinking maybe another year or 2, but we're just working on this year, just see how it go.
Now, may I ask, how old are you again?
Hey, man, he put me out there. Put me out there, man.
Hey, look.
I'm-
Hey, look. Hold on. I am 57 years old. Okay, that you are nowhere near my age.
I'm
so.
there. I'm there. 36.
So you're 36.
Yeah.
So with that, you played when you were in your early 20s, and now you know you're playing. You're getting near 40
Yeah.
years old. What is your mindset and attitude and adjustment that you had to make from being 21 years old and a lot of talent
Right.
to not quite as much talent because you have 3 surgeries.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, let's be honest. I
Yeah.
mean, I would love to say, yeah, you are still as talented as you were as 21.
Yeah.
I am not as talented 5 years ago
Right.
as I was. So what is the things that you have learned as you have aged?
Oh man, just one, the healing process. Like I don't heal the same. Like that and throughout most of my career playing football, I always was a player. Now, say probably like 23 on out to now, I'm more of a student. So now I know how to play the game of football. Now I'm studying more as a both sides, from player point, coaching point, to just get my brain going. So being that, having that type of ability on the field, that's why I know a lot. So yeah, that's why I got out of it.
And so like you have football players. So like Alex Smith had no problems training Patrick Mahomes to take over.
Right.
Unfortunately, Ben Roethlisberger was not like that. Other quarterbacks were not like that. They're like, oh, are you kidding me? They're trying to take my job. I'm not going to teach them anything.
Right.
How do you see that type of attitude and your attitude of being like an Alex Smith?
Oh man, I'm excited about the young talent we got. I tell them every day, I'm always in their ear. I say, you want to be the man, do what you got to do. You got to work for it. You got to study. I'm not telling you nothing that I wouldn't tell myself now. I wish I knew what I knew now, versus late at the end of my career. But it's helping them to see that and want them to be interested in putting in that work and become somebody, not because of who I am, but learning from me and then taking that on to wherever they decide to go, from school to the pros, whatever they're trying to do. So
Right. So you being one of those younger students, how are you adjusting to trying to become a veteran?
Being honest, I'm soaking in everything. Literally, I even sometimes just go over to coach and just chop it up, just have a conversation about just football, period. Just trying to, like Jay said, be a student of the game, because I know there's things that I don't know, and I know there's things that like I know, and I can see, for myself. But the things that I don't know, that's where where people like Jay come in or coach come in, and they give me that veteran, talk, and then I'll say, okay, now I notice this, or now I understand this, stuff like that. So just like you said, being a student of the game, got to be coachable, got to be mindful that this is one of my teammates coming at me, not a coach, but at the same time, I still got to have the same respect for that teammate, because he's telling me something that is going to benefit me, help me out in the long run.
Right. So now, as these people, may think, so you guys just don't get up and just play football.
No.
nah.
This is not Sandlot football where you go, okay, I got this guy, I got Ralph and Jimmy.
Nah.
So you do have to study. You do have to train.
Yes.
You just can't walk out there.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So please explain that to them.
First things first, you got to take care of your body. Jay can attest to what I'm about to say next. I didn't understand earlier in like college and like into high school. I didn't understand what it meant to take care of your body. So especially playing football, you got to do everything in your power to take care of your body so you don't end up injured or don't end up out of shape where you can't keep up or something like that. And I would say last year and this year have been a real test to me, being a bigger receiver. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm 6'3" and I'm like 215. So it's not a
Cap.
this guy. It's not like I'm a 6 foot
Right.
witty, slot receiver. I gotta actually put the preparation. I gotta hit the gym. I gotta I see a trainer twice a week, and I train on speed and agility, do different training and stuff like that, keeping my core strong, stuff like that. Because if I don't, I'm gonna get behind these guys. I ain't gonna see the field. Because like he said, our receiving core is the young talent we got is crazy. And if you, especially getting older, you don't heal the same. You know what I'm saying? You don't heal the same. You don't train the same. Everything's got to be, different. You got to learn and get accustomed to it. So with that, you guys got to train. Got to take care of your body. So that would be my number one thing that I focused on for sure.
So how do you guys adjust to what you so-called would say the real world? You have jobs. This does not pay your bills. This does not. It's not Patrick Mahomes-esque or even the 53rd man on the team.
Right.
How do you adjust the other part of your life through football?
I have a set schedule, so I'm always busy
Yeah.
every day. So,
Yeah, it's about the same for me. I work. Even the days we do practice, I work, but I just got an earlier shift so that I can adjust to that. But I think it's really hard. Heart is what you're gonna put into what you're doing every day. If you got this job, but you still want to play the game you love, how do you make them both work? And it's not up here; it comes from here, because you're gonna do everything in your power to make both work. No matter what you do, no matter what you think of. If you wake up every day and you think football, you're going to make it work.
all right.
Absolutely. So, Jay Robinson, Jay Major, and Jamal Mitchell on the show. You guys have, and we're past halftime, which is okay. I wanted to do that a little bit, but we need to let you guys go because you do have practice, and I don't want Coach yelling at me for keeping you guys too long. But he also knows what we're doing here. So next week we'll possibly have a couple more guys on the team. But I just wanted to thank you guys for your input and coming on the show. And please, guys, listen to this. These guys. I've known Jay for a long time. I've only known you this year. I didn't even know you last year, even though that I was announcing football games. So, and it is, and I totally agree with them. I work, and I have a job where I work Saturdays, so I have to try to make sure I get off work in time so I can get out and do my job on the football field. Now, it's not. Throwing a football, catching a football, tackling a player or whatever. I'm announcing a football game.
Right.
And I have to prepare just as much as you guys do. And that's what people sometimes don't realize. They just think I just get in there and just start blabbing. Well, okay, maybe I do, but no. But I have to have a game plan too, just like you guys have to have a game plan.
Yeah.
And if the game plan doesn't work, you got to come up with plan B.
Right.
Because if plan A doesn't work and you don't have a plan B, sometimes that leads you to trouble. So,
Exactly.
absolutely. So, Jamal,
Yep.
glad you guys came on the show. Jay,
All right.
Appreciate you
came
guys
on the
having
show.
us.
And I totally appreciate these guys coming on. Jay Robinson, Jamal Mitchell, and we are going to take a break at halftime. It's a little later break, but we're going to do that. And so we'll take a few minutes, and we will be back with Any Given Sunday on KUAW. 816-599-6893 is the phone number.
All right.
All right, we are back for the second half of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Brian Kress, the awesome voice, DJ Scatter, George Walker, and Coach 24, Darwin Penny. And Darwin Penny, this past week, was in Grand Junction, Colorado, on assignment, and he got to see his automata, Blinn College, at the JUCO World Series, and I think they got their first W, and I don't know if that's their first win ever in the World Series or if it's just their first win in this World Series. So I just wanted to do a shout out to Darwin Penny about that, and sending some love to his team, Blinn College. So Blinn is Blinn College at the JUCO World Series. So he's out there doing his job and being able to be a fan too. So we are in the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA Finals. And so for the first time ever, that 2 8 seeds, actually in the NBA, the first 8 seed to be in the NBA Finals is the Miami Heat. Now, unfortunately, they were up 3-0, and then they were about ready to give it away. But here was the thing. Before I believe the day before the game, which was yesterday, I believe. No, it was on Tuesday. It was on Tuesday. My mistake. They had already put their ticket plans for Denver. So they hadn't even won Game 7 yet. They had played horrible in the previous few games. And then had the last second shot make it in order to tie it at 3-3. But they said, no, we're going to go for sure. And that is a gutsy call to do that. And I know you have to plan to get on a plane to go wherever you need to go, because tonight's game, which tonight it starts, will be in about 40 minutes from now, 42 minutes from now, at 7:30, and it'll be the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. Now, saying that, the Stanley Cup playoffs are also going. They have the Vegas Golden Knights playing the Miami, it's the Florida Panthers. They're called Florida. And whereas the NBA, it's Miami. So anyway, but the Panthers, they swept the Carolina Hurricanes after they beat the team with the best record in the history of the NHL. Beat them after, I believe they were. Boston Bruins were up either 3-0 or 3-1, and Florida came back to beat them, and then they just totally were lights out against everybody. They played the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then they played the Carolina Hurricanes. And they will play Saturday. Now, Boston has a record that may not happen again, but it could happen again. They became the first city to lose a Game 7 against an 8 seed at home. And the Bruins did that. They were at home. They lost to the 8 seed Panthers. And then Boston Celtics turned right around, won and went away, and they lost their game to the Miami Heat, and together they became the first city to lose seventh round or Game 7 games at home. and the Boston Celtics lost 3 of the 4 games on their home court. Now, Boston Gardens used to be a place where you just could not go in there and win. In fact, they have, I believe, the record for a best home game, and I want to say it was 1986, where they were 40-1, and they lost 1 game. I don't know who it was, but I can find it out who the team was, but they had only lost 1 game. They turned around, beat the Houston Rockets in the NBA Finals, and won their championship game. Now, saying this, there have been 8 times where the 2 teams from the NHL and the NBA have played had played at the same time, and there was 3 of them. The very first one was in 1957. The Boston Celtics beat the St. Louis Hawks, and then they eventually became the Atlanta Hawks. But the Boston Bruins, who were also in there, they lost to the Montreal Canadiens. And then in 1958, the Boston Celtics lost to the Hawks in a rematch, and again, the Bruins lost to the Canadiens. And then you turn around and go 1972, the New York Knicks and the New York Knicks and the New York Nets both lost in the finals, and the Rangers lost to the Bruins. So then you go to 1974, the Boston Celtics beat the Milwaukee Bucks, and Lou Alcindor, who changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they won. And then the Boston Bruins lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, the next year, Philadelphia Flyers beat the Buffalo Sabres, and the only reason why I'm saying that is Buffalo Sabres are my team, and that was Buffalo Sabres' first Stanley Cup that they made it to, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their first year of existence in the NHL was either 1969 or 1970, so they were barely in the league a few years when they did make it to the Stanley Cup, and they had the French connection front line. Gilles Perreault was the leader of that team, but anyway, they lost to Philadelphia, and I believe it was 4-1 or 4-2. So then you go to 1980. And the Philadelphia 76ers lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, which was Magic Johnson's rookie year. And that was the game where he played center for an injured Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Game 7 and scored 40 points in the victory. And then the Philadelphia Flyers played the New York Islanders, which started the four-peat of the New York Islanders. That was their first of 4 Stanley Cups that they had won in a row, and they ended up and they won it in 80, 81, 82, 83, and then in 84 the Edmonton Oilers with Wayne Gretzky finally beat the New York Islanders, but Philadelphia had lost to the Islanders in 80. So then you go to 1992. The Chicago Bulls beat the Portland Trail Blazers, but the Chicago Blackhawks fell to the Pittsburgh Penguins. And that was with Super Mario Lemieux. And so then you go to the last one, 2003. The New Jersey Devils beat the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, so they won the Stanley Cup, but the New York Nets lost to the San Antonio Spurs, which was the New Jersey Nets' only appearance in the NBA Finals. Now, they made a lot of finals in the ABA with Julius Irving and stuff. But I believe this team had Kenyon Martin, and I want to say for some reason Jason Kidd too. But that was the last time. So 20 years ago was the last time that two teams or two sports, the hockey, the basketball, had the same city in the finals. So saying that, do you have any ideas who you think is going to win? Yes, I'm looking at you. Yeah. The Stanley Cup, it's the Florida Panthers versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
You know, if I had any idea on hockey, who was doing what, I thought it was the Edmonton Oilers or somebody in there. Or something. I don't know. I have no clue to a player. I mean, other than Wayne Gretzky, I couldn't tell you a hockey player's name.
What is it? Shane McDavid, I believe, is the new stud, is the so-called the new Wayne Gretzky for Edmonton now. So I know McDavid was his last name, and I'm trying to I want to say it was Shane, but he was the number one pick about 4 or 5 years ago for the Edmonton Oilers. So
yeah, I couldn't enter a guess into who does what in hockey. I'd be about the same in soccer.
Gotcha.
Those two, I just couldn't tell you anything about it. But hey, you know, I did watch a little bit of the game. What was that, Saturday? I was at home and turned it, and there was hockey on, and I watched a little bit, maybe about 5-10 minutes of it, and I said, okay, I don't know anything about it. And
I think Saturday was the one where the Golden Knights were going for a 4-game sweep, and they lost. No, they were up 3-1. They needed one more to win, and then they lost. Then they turned around and won this last game, which I believe.
And that's probably what I caught some of. But like I said, I watched it for a little bit, and But not to say anything against hockey. It's my attention span to too many sports. That's it and stuff. Because I don't think hockey is not a tough sport. I mean, watch that. Yeah, it's a rough sport. So I kind of like it, and I can see why people do like it. But I'm just not a fan.
Gotcha. So saying that, who do you have in the NBA Finals? The Miami Heat or the Denver Nuggets?
Well, I would say with the heart, I'd have to say the Denver Nuggets, just because they haven't been there. I think they're the last ABA team to get into the finals.
Right, that moved over to the NBA.
Right. So we will see.
Yep.
So you say, okay, well, just for that reason, not that I have any love for the Nuggets or hate for the Heat, but the Heat's been there.
Right.
So you always kind of root for those guys that haven't had it, those cities that haven't had that party yet.
Right.
And say, you know, maybe it's time for Denver to have, I mean, they had some Super Bowl parties, but it would be time for them to have another sport party.
Do you know that this is the Miami Heat's 7th NBA final since 2006?
Yeah, see, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot in
is.
there. So yeah, Denver.
But you don't have Dwayne Wade, you don't have Chris Bosh, and you don't have LeBron James.
Yeah, but they did come back finally and won one. So I thought, okay, I said they'd really be disappointed if they would have lost that game 7 after being up 3-0.
That would have been the first time in NBA history that a team was down was up 3-0 and turned around and lost.
And you can't win one. I said that would have really been a sad way to end. So the Celtics were out, but I mean I think they played heroic to get back into it. But you know, I think it was supposed to be the Heat and Denver, and it's kind of good to see a little new blood. The teams that don't have the LeBrons and the Wades and all of those that are coming up, because it's time for the next group
Right.
to start moving in. So that's a good thing.
Well, and here is the thing, Jokic, they call him the Joker. He's been winning MVPs, except for he didn't win this year. Joel Embiid won, KU Jayhawk, former KU Jayhawk. But it was odd how they picked Embiid to win when people kept thinking that Jokic should have won it, but he is finally playing in his first final.
And that probably means a lot more. I mean, MVPs are good,
Yep.
but to get the ring,
Yep.
you know, there's probably a lot of MVPs that would trade that in for a ring.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. Now, saying this, if the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup in the NBA Finals, it will be the first time in history that the NBA team and the Stanley Cup team from the same city wins their championship.
So they'd have two celebrations within days of each other, maybe.
Exactly.
And stuff. Wow.
Now saying this, I'm picking the Golden Knights and the Nuggets. And this ends our Any Given Sunday show. DJ Scatter, George
No penny
Walker.
for your thoughts.
Yeah, no penny for your thoughts. I'm gonna leave it for him. I'm gonna leave it for Darwin, Coach 24, and give it to him when he comes back. So I don't know when he will be back, but he will be welcome back with open arms when he does. So, and I know that he would definitely like to be here, because in that way he would spend more time with his beautiful wife Maria. So saying this, we are out of here, and you and fans, and I appreciate everybody who watches our shows, anybody who comes on our show. I'm greatly appreciated with that too. I'm very blessed to be able to do a sports show, and the fact that George Walker and KUAW gives me the opportunity to do that too. I thank you very much. And with that, I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice, with Coach 24, Darwin Penny, and DJ Scatter, George Walker. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a fabulous sports weekend.